Unfortunately, the front mudguard was another part that I took the hacksaw to during my Cafe Racer build, as we can see the difference here between the original item and the shortened version. Rather than faff around with the cut down part, I have tracked down a replacement, which is cosmetically a mess, but that will be sorted when I get the paint done. The mudguard was held in position via some short studs into the fork legs. One of the studs was missing on mine, which had been replaced with a bolt, and for the remaining three the nuts are all nicely seized. The studs are quite short, so I cut the heads off some stainless bolts to make replacements. I give each a good coating of value slip when I fit them. The bike had these steel plates fitted on the inside of the mudguard mounting brackets, I assume to spread the load on the plastic. I don't think they're original parts, even though the parts list does show something. They look horrible when fitted, so I replaced them with some washers. Given the location of the alternator, running a shortened mudguard really is not an option, should I ever be caught out in the rain. The tank as wasn't too bad. I did, however, spend way too much time on it for my Cafe Racer build, including multiple attempts at painting with rattle cans before buying a decent spray gun and having to go with 2-pack paint. But my heart wasn't in it by this time, never mind my lack of competence. This is how I left it about 3 years ago. I did also spend a fair bit of time de-rusting the inside, including rotating it with about 1 kilo of old nuts, bolts and bits of steel inside, filling it full of white wine vinegar and leaving it to soak for a few days, and finally electrolysis. It was the latter that had the most effect. Once I was happy, I sprayed a load of GT85 inside and then sealed the cap and the fuel takeoff points. The tank is rubber mounted and there are 5 rubbers. 2 of these at the front inner section of the tank locates against, this one on the top frame tube, and these 2 on the frame side rails. There are also a further 2 rubbers at the front that the brackets on the front of the tank hook under. I find fitting it a bit of a struggle. The forward brackets need to be hooked under the aforementioned rubbers and the tank eased into position over the first set of rubbers. Maybe some lube on the latter would help. It's meant to be held in place with a sturdy rubber strap, but although new a few years back, I don't think it's the right part, unless old Guzzi mechanics had gorilla strength to stretch it into place. So for now I'll use a piece of Velcro. The fuel taps are showing their age and need stripping down and cleaning. Stripping them is a simple process. First the filter comes off, then the tube that separates the reserve level in the tank, followed by the left-handed union and its internal seal. The handled valve is held by 2 small screws with a spring washer and plastic ring under the faceplate. Beyond which there is a further plastic ring and a rubber seal. I clean the body using some Solvo and then give all the parts a thorough wash before reassembling. The union is double-threaded, a left-hand thread for the fitting to the tap and a right-hand thread for the fitting to the outlet on the tank. The taps are handed, so when fitted to the tank, they will correspond in the direction that the handles are pointing. Although structurally sound, the fairing has not weathered so well cosmetically. But before I think about how to deal with that, I do need to step back and address a number of other jobs that have been accumulating in the background. Of course, it would not be right to not at least fit the fairing and side panels temporarily to get a view of how the bike is coming along. So I'll end this video with a few such pictures before getting on with that backlist. Thanks for watching.